Welcome to Burnout Blockers number 5. Plan lessons better with Premortems. This video will explain how to use the business strategy of conducting a premortem to increase your classroom successes. Back in Miss Newman's college days, she saw Brianna, one of her acquaintances from class, posting a flyer about needing a roommate for her apartment in the upcoming school year. Miss Newman was in fact looking for a place, so she said that she'd check it out. Miss Newman visited the apartment and saw that it was new and bright. She would be sharing a room with Brianna, but it was a lot bigger than a dorm room. And besides, they had a living room. It looked like a good situation. Maybe on bad weather days, I'll have to take the bus up to campus or something, Miss Newman thought. But what really could go wrong here? So she went ahead with signing the lease. However, as it turned out, Brianna's annoying boyfriend lived in their room most of the time, and he had a tendency to eat their food without chipping in. Brianna and the boyfriend had a later schedule than Miss Newman, so she was always having to ask them to turn down the music or go out to the living room because she wanted to go to sleep. It wasn't long before things started getting tense, and Miss Newman was counting down the many days she had left to live with Brianna. She wished she had actually taken the time to think through the question, what could really go wrong here? So she could have gotten a better picture of what the living situation would actually be like. Doing a simple check-in called a premortem, a strategy taken from the business world, can often prevent big disappointments. To do a premortem, imagine that whatever you're planning to do has already happened and it's gone awry. What went wrong? Take the time to envision the details. Then, work backwards and ask yourself, what would have been the likely causes of these problems? It'll lead you to ask more questions and do more research, so you can make tweaks to your plan before you make your final decision. Or you might find that you'd be better off pursuing a totally different option. Premortems can improve our decisions in both our personal lives and professional lives. Business strategy researchers saw a 30% increase in people's ability to identify reasons for future outcomes when they took the time to imagine that an event already occurred. So try it out when you're planning a week's worth of lessons. Imagine how even a perfect on-paper lesson plan turned out to be a dud in real life. For instance, how did it work based on your students' cognitive development or their prior knowledge? What about the setup of your classroom and the social dynamics of the group? It's simple, but it really helps us be more realistic. So here's the recap on premortems. To do a premortem before you make a decision about a situation, imagine you already went through with it and it's ended badly. Think through what would have likely caused the problems and take the opportunity to change direction if necessary. Planning lessons for the week, deciding how to deal with a student's ongoing behavioral issues, or making changes to the curriculum are all good times to do a premortem. Keep in mind that considering how something could go wrong doesn't make you a pessimist. It's how we prepare for various possible futures. Taking the time to conduct premortems will actually make you more relaxed about the future and more likely to encounter fewer unpleasant surprises. For more insight into how envisioning the future can help you make better decisions, check out Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke and also Super Forecasting, The Art and Science of Prediction by Phil Tetlock. All right, coming up next in Burnout Blockers, we'll show you some tricks for getting your to-do list under control so you can be more productive. How I Decide is an educational nonprofit dedicated to improving the ways people make decisions. If you like what you learned in this video, check out what we can help you teach your students. Our Habit-Wise and Mindful Choices programs bring positive structure to their daily routines to help them manage life's stressors and make better decisions. Go to programs.howidecide.org to get free access to the lesson materials.